Agriculture. It's the economic engine that drives this region. On this episode of Valley's Gold, we're going to explore the fuel of our economic engine, water. From irrigation technology in the fields to what you can do to conserve at home, we're going to better understand the management of this precious resource. So join me, Ryan Jacobsen, as we go with the flow.
Valley's Gold is produced through a partnership between the Fresno County Farm Bureau and Valley PBS. Production funding for Valley's Gold is provided by
Everyone enjoys getting together to laugh, to talk, and mostly to eat. It sounds so simple, but the reality is that it takes a lot of hard work to feed us. The next time you sit down to eat, remember to thank our farmers. Garge Italian Incorporated since 1949 at 800-696-6108.
The Meyers Water Bank and Wildlife Project, a water resource and education program, providing an educational experience that teaches students in the Central Valley about water and wildlife.
For more than 60 years, Brandt has been a major supplier of agricultural specialty products. Formerly Monterey Ag Resources, Brandt provides sustainable solutions for both conventional and organic growers. Brandt, we're proud to call the Valley home.
Here on Valley's Gold, I've had the opportunity to meet with a lot of innovators. One of those is Marvin Meyers of Meyers Farms Family Trust. Marvin, thanks for joining me this morning. Well, let's begin with the history of your operation.
We started farming west of I-5 in 1975. There wasn't any water there until 1977. The San Luis Water District completed what we call Improvement District Number 2, and that's when we received our first CVP water. 77, if you remember, was a big drought year.
Yes, it was.
It was one of the worst years we ever had. And then we had our first year we got water, and it was a new ditch. And we lost about 50% of the water through seepage during that year. And then, it was a drought year, so that was the wake-up call that, you know what, West Side's a different breed of cat.
Yes, it is.
And then later on, as we farmed a lot of cotton, we went through some very tough years. And the drought from 1989 to 94 was then I realized that we will not survive up here on the west side if we don't have a supplemental water supply. Over time, we transitioned from cotton to permanent crop. And so we started planting our almonds in 1989 with our first trees. What I did is I just decided that if I'm going to make it here, I got to find something. And I've read about the Kern Water Bank, and I read a lot about other banking projects, but I realized this may be the best opportunity to do a groundwater recharge. Of course, I didn't know what I was going to do, and it was hit and miss, and it was very, very creative thinking of trying to figure out where can I put a bank, and obviously up on the west side of I-5, there's no water up there, there's no groundwater. I realized that this side of the pool is where might be an opportunity for recharge. So I got together with the Spreckles people. So I asked them if I could do some boring out here, and I did. And lo and behold, we found the profile that we wanted. And so I talked to them about it, and they said, well, go ahead and you can do a pilot project, which we did. And oh my God, the water just started drinking. We did the hydrology over time. It took me 4 years of due diligence to get this bank up and running. And so I decided to hock all my land and fund my own project.
Which is key because you're one of a kind, the first private water bank in the state of California.
Yeah, I am. And we did. We started building the ponds, and in 2002 we started filling. And it was wet years, if you recall.
Yeah.
And we were able to get water from the west side from Willing Cellars, and flood water from Kings River.
Yeah.
And we were able to bring it all into the bank, and just kept filling. And we got up to about 35,000 acre feet in the ground before we had to start removing any water. We actually expanded the bank just before last year from 35 to 60,000 acre feet capacity.
It really boils down to, it was first off a lot of trial and error. You had to, it was quite a risk at the time that you did this.
Major risk.
But fortunately it's paying off. But I think one of the key components of this is, for this thing to work, you still have to have a surface supply.
Absolutely.
And so reliable surface supply, which has been a challenge the last few years for you, is obviously an issue that we all have to continue to work on.
Yes, and you know, you got to be creative, and you've got to make friends. You've got to meet people that could influence other people to help you find some water. You know, we go to all the meetings, we meet people. We've met some really great people that are south of the Delta, but they have pre-1914 water rights, and obviously that's the water that's going into the bank today, right in the middle of a drought. All the agencies are happy with it. And also we've created this wonderful wildlife environment, and that's when I hired young Jason Dean.
And Marvin, talk about that a little more. Why did you make the investment on the educational component to this?
Well, it was something, this is it really may sound phony, but we had a flood year and the pool overflowed all over the area. I came out here and I walked in and I said, I don't believe what I'm seeing. This looked like the Everglades. There were thousands and thousands of wildlife out here. I mean, there was every bird known to man, and then there was predators, there was coyotes, there was fox, there was everything. It was just a big, unbelievable. I said, look at this place, this close to Fresno, and no one knows it's here. This is amazing. I mean, you should see it. So I said, you know, I've got to create, since I'm creating water area, and we've noticed that a lot of, during the flyway, this is the flyway, all kinds of birds come in here. So what I did is I said, I'm going to create a wildlife project. And it was something I wanted to do. In my first environmental assessment, you'll read, that was part of my desire after I got the bank up and running, because it does bring in lots of wildlife, and a lot of the people don't have that opportunity to see it. In time, I went to Larry Powell, and I told him what we were doing, and I said, I'll bring, if we can bring these young people out and show them what's out here, I will fund it. So we fund the docents, we fund the buses, and we've had several thousand young people come out in classes, and it's an educational experience. It's not just a field trip. But Jason Dean, I hired him from Fish and Game, and he's an educator, and he's a biologist, and the kids love him.
Yeah, and he's offering a hands-on experience. You here at the Water Bank are offering that hands-on experience that these kids would have no other way.
Absolutely.
And as you said, it's only 40 minutes from Fresno, and you're in the midst of something that there's very little left up here in California. We're
trying to leave this as pristine as we can. We don't want to develop it, because it is truly wildlife area. It's truly a habitat. You don't have to create that. You know, we were diesel. We got off of diesel, went to power. Now we're solar. So environmentally, we're trying to do everything that's the right thing.
Well, Marvin, this has been an incredible adventure to come out here and see what you've been able to do with something, as you said, that there was no template for. It was something that you had to create from the ground up, and something that I'm sure your legacy is going to live on for many years because of what you've been able to do here.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. I mean, we have a huge investment in permanent crop in the district, San Luis on I-5. And through an exchange program, we're able to pump this water into the pool, which is a conveyance facility. It's a confluence of DMC, San Joaquin River, DMC being the Delta Mendota Canal, San Joaquin, and the Kings River all meet at this pool. So you can bring water from different areas down these floodways, and then other people that are getting water out of the pool use my water because it's great quality, fabulous quality. And then the Bureau gives me credit on the San Luis Canal where my trees are. Because people say, how do you get the water from here to there? Yeah. And it's an exchange.
But you happen to be kind of the center of the universe when it comes to water here in the valley. So
you got it.
It makes it possible for you to wield it all.
You got it. That's exactly how it works. And last year was a tough year because we didn't know if anybody was going to have any water to exchange with. Yeah. I could pump it out, but
if you can't exchange it, it doesn't work.
Can't exchange it. Yeah. So it worked out, and it worked out beneficial. So.
Well, good, Marvin. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Very much learned a whole lot about this process from you, so thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I hope people enjoy what they see.
Thanks. I've headed over to the Center for Irrigation Technology at Fresno State. With me, I have its director, David Zoldoske. David, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Well, let's begin with, tell me a little bit about the center.
Well, we've been around for about 35 years. Established about 1980. It was a partnership between the university and the industry to really become the UL of irrigation equipment. So we've been testing sprinklers, drippers, filters, and all kinds of irrigation equipment since that time.
Now, when we look around, I mean, there's so much that goes on for this center. I mean, when we talk about the different aspects, where do we even begin? Talk about what's happening today and on a daily basis, both in the lab behind us here, as well as some of the other programs that take place out in the field.
Well, certainly the drought's driving things today. We've been focused on water use efficiency since the beginning, whether that was sprinklers or drippers, but really trying to take whatever we learn in the lab and convey that to the growers. So we do lots of workshops and seminars, and I can tell you today they're filling up fast. We're doing more of them than we ever have. We just did 3 workshops north of here, and we had over 1,500 growers in 3 days. So they're showing up. They want to know how to better use this water resource that we don't have enough of, and really trying to keep agriculture in California as productive as possible.
And that's one thing that you talk about, this precious resource. We can't have agriculture, both here in the valley and California, without this irrigation that takes place here that makes this all happen. Talk about the efficiencies that have taken place over the last 35 years. Some of it is just absolutely mind-boggling as far as what we've been able to save as far as that crop per drop. We've really been able to increase that efficiency.
Right, so there's a couple of messages there. One is, obviously flood irrigation is how we got started. Laser leveling came along, made a big improvement on how we spread the water. Sprinklers followed then, and then drip is probably the latest technology that's being adopted. And it may be now that drip is actually the predominant irrigation method in the state for the first time. And one of the interesting things that I like to talk to groups about that maybe aren't familiar with the technology is that plants themselves actually use more water with drip, and people get surprised, say, how can that be? But a well-watered plant uses more water than a plant that's in well-watered and deficit during the flood events, but it also produces more fruit. So the unit of water per unit of fruit is much higher. So that's what we're trying to do, is get as much fruit and fiber produced, food and fiber produced with each unit of water. So drip helps us accomplish that. It uses much more uniform. So the total applied water to any field is usually less with drip than it is with flood and other technologies.
And we talk about the lab that's actually behind us. You talked about we actually do a lot here as far as that testing. Absolutely. Now this is private enterprise that's coming in here and doing a lot of this?
Yeah, so we have about 150 companies in water technology in the San Joaquin Valley alone. Those are pipe manufacturers, filter manufacturers, drip micro, sprinklers, all the companies that you would know. Pump manufacturers, and so we test a lot of their equipment here. We certify it. We help with R&D to make those products better, and so that when the consumer finally buys it, it performs at the best level it can.
And we also have an incubator that's a part of this program here, and the incubator, What does it do?
So we call it the WET, the Water Energy Technology Incubator, and as the name suggests, it's either in water, which most our startups are here, and they're taking the challenge of how do we improve further what we've learned in the past, make the water go further, produce more crops, be more efficient again with our water and energy, because all our water here in California essentially is pumped, and with that pumped water, there's a bit of energy in every glass of water we have.
Absolutely, and you talked about a lot about the application, and whether it's sprinklers or drip, but it's the when to applicate that a lot of these incubators I noticed were talking about there.
Right.
I was just fascinated about the different methods that they're looking at now. Everything from sap flow through doing some aerial photography with some sensors on it.
Absolutely. So we've got drones. Everybody's talking about drones. So that we're right there at the cutting edge. We like working with entrepreneurs because they're right there with great ideas, trying to get those to commercialization. And so so it's one thing to put the water out efficiently. It's another thing to decide when and how much to put on. And that's really where we think that most of the future water savings will occur.
And you talked about the energy component that goes into moving water. You have a great relationship with PG&E and the program that they do to make sure that these pumps are working as efficiently as possible.
Right. So about the last 10 or 12 years, we've actually been running the ag program for PG&E. So any of those growers out there today, or municipalities actually, that would like to have their pumps evaluated, and if there's a need for repair, we have funds available for that, and we have expertise in doing the training to any groups that would like to learn more about pumping efficiency and how they can save energy.
And Dave, whether or not this drought lasts multiple years or it ends next, California is on the peripheral edge of a drought. Even in wet years, where we're always on that edge of the drought, and water conservation is important, whether wet years, dry years, and everything else. It's a challenging time in agriculture right now, but as far as the water side of things, it's an exciting time. It's changing, and there's a lot of career opportunities for young people that just haven't had this or seen this as an opportunity before.
Absolutely, and President Castro here at Fresno State has taken the initiative to create sort of a water awareness across the whole campus. Embedded in that will be more classes and curriculum about water and some career pathways as well. So we're hoping to train the next generation of water leaders to deal with this. This problem's not going away.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, it's going to become more critical, and quite frankly, it's going to be really important to secure ag's future to make sure we get the right answers.
And the last thing I want to end with is you actually even go younger. You actually have fun programs that kids actually can participate in.
We do. We have programs. We reach out to the K-12. We've actually targeted 4th, 5th, and 6th grade to get them aware of the hydrologic cycle. When it rains, how much does it rain? How much irrigation you need to apply to your crops or your yard, and really get them in tune with the whole water cycle.
Great. Well, Dave, appreciate it.
As
Thank
always.
you so much for giving me a lot of information about this very important resource we have here in our backyard.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, good.
I've met up with Nora Laikam, the Water Conservation Supervisor for the City of Fresno. Nora, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you're going to provide me an overview for what the Water Conservation Program is.
Well, number one, we're looking for people who are not conserving water, but we really want to help them learn what to do. And so we have a number of programs in place to help our customers.
Okay.
You know, City of Fresno has been a leader in conservation. We've always been like a step ahead of the mandates that come down from the state. And so we've had a program in place since the 1980s.
And water conservation is a big deal, throughout the state, but particularly here in the San Joaquin Valley, where a large majority of the water use actually goes towards landscaping. So that's a big emphasis for this program.
Very good point. Over 60% of the water used is used in landscaping. And so, of course, that's a great place to start. And we have a number of programs to help people that are free.
Absolutely. Well, explain some of those programs.
I will. One of them is a landscape consultation, water-wise landscape consultation. We will show the customer how to plant plants that are water-wise and valley-friendly. It's really important that they grow well in the valley.
Absolutely.
So we give them a list of plants. We'll even do a design. All of our people are landscape experts, so they're able to provide a design.
But the one thing that's so exciting that we're going to see here in just a little bit is the fact that there's so many options, and colorful options at that.
Oh, water-wise plants are beautiful.
Yeah.
It isn't just cactus.
Yeah.
Although cactus is nice too.
It's part of it, yeah.
But the other thing that we do is we offer an irrigation audit We'll check your timer. We'll check the sprinkler heads. Are they correct? We'll talk to you about drip irrigation.
Yeah.
Again, a free service.
And one of the other exciting parts of this is there may be times when rebates are available for this conversion.
Yes, we have a number of rebates that we are posting now on our website, probably about 20, and some of them have to do with landscape. Okay. One other thing I wanted to mention is people in the city of Fresno are on water meter. So all the water is measured. They have to pay for what they use. So guess what? We have a water leak survey too.
Yeah.
And that way we can help them if their bill is high and they don't know why. We're able to look for water leaks for them. And again, that's free.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that's exciting is that even though you're representing the city of Fresno, there are these programs throughout the municipalities up and down the state.
There are. Mm-hmm.
And so it's something that people just call your local city, and hopefully there's a program that might fit what their needs are.
You know what? That's a real good point, because there are other programs. In fact, we help one another.
Yeah.
The conservation programs are always kind of feeding off of one another.
Yeah.
You know, what's a good one to do now, and what saves what will really save water.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Nora, one question I have for you, how'd you get involved in this business?
Well, actually, I've been in water for a long time, and it's just something that I enjoy, and again, enjoy helping people. It's a good cause to save water, our most precious resource.
Absolutely. Well, Nora, thank you so much. Now I'm going to go check out an example of what you can do in your own yard.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're doing that.
I've jumped over to meet with Sally Carroll, whose yard we happen to be in, as well as Marilyn Creel, who is a landscape specialist. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, let me begin with, Sally, tell me about your gorgeous yard that's behind us.
I've had this yard since 2007, and when I moved into the new house, I worked with my landscaper. I didn't want any lawn. So he put in trees and shrubs in front, and they're all water-wise.
So from the beginning, you were already water conscious, knowing that you wanted to really minimize your water use in your yard.
I've lived in Southern California my whole life. I know that droughts come in cycles. So
absolutely. And there's a reason that we have Marilyn here. Marilyn, you're the landscape specialist who actually tries to identify plants that are water savings.
That's correct.
And you're with the city of Fresno, so tell me about some of the services you provide.
Well, as a landscape specialist, primary one is I go out to people's residences and I watch the irrigation working and make recommendations for improvement, help set their sprinkler timers, and also discuss which plants they have that are low water use versus those that are higher use. Recommend adjustments in their landscape to make it more water wise.
And in these types of programs, one of the fun facts is that this is a program that any resident can take advantage of. And it is something that I think a lot of folks just don't know exists, and landscaping is a big part of water use here in the valley. So really trying to minimize that can have some big beneficial savings for customers.
Yes, it definitely can. I've come away sometimes thinking I've accomplished a lot in the day educationally, and also setting timers, discovering people are watering much more than they need with their existing equipment and plants.
And there's no shortage of different types of landscape designs to do here. I mean, we're talking about there's a lot of numerous plants that are available today that will accomplish just about what anybody's looking to do.
That's correct, and styles.
Absolutely. And Sally, tell me about your yard. What are some of your favorite parts that you've developed over the years? I know a lot of it's trial and error because you found some plants that have worked, some plants that have not, but do you have some favorites?
Well, from what was put in initially, they were all good selections except for size. I found that some of the salvia just got way too big and blocked my front windows. So last year I did have somebody come out and tear out some of the large plants, and I've planted some shorter salvias. I like the salvias because they attract my hummingbirds and the moths and the bees, so those are good ones.
Bring a lot of your native creatures in.
And this tree behind you in the summer has big, beautiful purple plumes. It's called a chase tree. And I've planted 3 of those because I like it so much. They really quick shade, grows fast.
And you actually told me it's more of a shrub, but you've actually developed it into...
It is a shrub. You have to prune it up as it grows to get rid of the lower branches. And then I'm lifting it so that it's more, you could walk under it. Yeah.
And Marilyn, one thing that's so important to recognize with these type of landscape designs is it's not something you just put in and ignore.
Oh, definitely
I mean, when it
not.
comes to the irrigation side, that's something just making sure that you do routine maintenance, as well as, like I said, the trial and error when it comes to the design of the plants and where you're going to put them.
That's correct, Ryan. There's a lot to irrigation. As most people say, it's not rocket science, but it is science and art. And it takes keeping track of what's going on, watching your system, looking at the plants. Plants can die from too much water as too little water, and you want to make sure you're irrigating correctly.
Absolutely. And then, Sally, I mean, I guess the one thing I want to end with is when we talk about what you've done here with your particular landscape, you were one of the first award winners for a particular program.
I was very honored.
Explain that to me.
The city of Fresno, I believe it was the Water Conservation and some other groups anyway, they had an award program for people who were either putting in or already had water-wise yards. And I was one of, I think, 5 in the first year that got an award. I was very honored.
That's great. So it really shows an example of what you can do here in the San Joaquin Valley to really minimize water use, but as well as create something that's absolutely gorgeous year-round.
Absolutely, and I like to spread the word to my neighbors and friends. So.
Well, Marilyn and Sally, thank you so much for sharing this water conservation news with me.
Thank you for coming to my garden.
No, I appreciate the opportunity. And I hope all of you will join me next time for more Valley's Gold.
Production funding for Valley's Gold is provided by
Everyone enjoys getting together to laugh, to talk, and mostly to eat. It sounds so simple, but the reality is that it takes a lot of hard work to feed us. The next time you sit down to eat, remember to thank our farmers. Gar Tutelian Incorporated since 1949 at 800-696-6108.
The Meyers Water Bank and Wildlife Project, a water resource and education program, providing an educational experience that teaches students in the Central Valley about water and wildlife.
For more than 60 years, Brandt has been a major supplier of agricultural specialty products. Formerly Monterey Ag Resources, Brandt provides sustainable solutions for both conventional and organic growers. Brandt, we're proud to call the Valley home.